Hi, this is Brian. Welcome back to another optimized video. Today we are going to take a quick look at how to optimize your meditation with more wisdom and less time via our 101 class, the collection of philosophers' notes, the plus ones, etc. First, quick context for those of you who are joining us for the first time. And thank you to everyone who already knows this part of our little contextual frame setting. I appreciate all of you who are already part of Optimize, who have shared Optimize with your friends. It's been exciting to see so many new Optimizers join us. But for people who don't know yet, Optimize is all about more wisdom in less time. So we have something called Philosopher's Notes, then 101s and plus ones. Philosopher's Notes are like mini Cliff's Notes for self-development books. The 101s are hour-long classes in which I distill the best ideas from all the Philosopher's Notes. And the plus ones are just short form, 3 to 5 minute videos and blogs, etc. We have over 1,000 of those. We have dozens of categories that we're excited to help you optimize, from ancient wisdom and modern science to leadership, goal setting, productivity. We just did one on breathing, prosperity, willpower, relationships, conquering anxiety, etc. Used to be a premium offering that we charged $100 to $250 for. It is now free, no strings attached, no credit card required, no spam, no ads, just more wisdom and less time. Let's go. Meditation. You've probably heard at this stage that it is powerful. So in Meditation 101, the 60-minute class, we start with why. So each one of our classes has 10 ideas. This one's called Meditation 101, how to meditate without moving to the Himalayas, making it simple. The first and most important thing we need to do is start with why. Why should we meditate? And if you aren't meditating yet, there's a few different reasons, but the most fundamental would probably be you don't really get just how powerful it is. Because I would offer, if you did, you would prioritize even a minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Science has shown leads to robust changes in the strength of your mind, your willpower, your immune system, your ability to put your attention where you want, when you want, which is the most important thing for happy, flourishing individuals, especially in our society today, where we are constantly bombarded by technology, inputs, etc. We've lost the ability to focus our minds. Not a good thing. So every single moment you're meditating, when your mind wanders and you bring it back to your anchor, which we talk about in the class, whether that's your breath, or a mantra, or a prayer, or whatever, you strengthen your mind and your ability to put your attention where you want, when you want. You also change the expression of your genes. Super conservative scientists out of Harvard have demonstrated some truly staggering stats of what you do when you meditate in terms of your optimizing the epigenetic expression of your genetic code. It's fascinating. And of course, you connect to something bigger than yourself. If that's a faith tradition and you're praying while you're doing it, or you're secular and you're just connecting to the infinite power of the universe, you connect to something bigger than yourself, which is obviously a powerful thing. So that's the why that I encourage you to consider. And then, of course, we go through the how. Well, how should I meditate? These are actually my notes, which is fun to look at. So we share my notes that I use to prepare for the class with every class. In addition to that workbook, we've got a poster. My wife often does meditations for them, etc. That's the 101. The 101 is a distillation of my favorite big ideas from the best books on meditation that I have studied. So when I want to master a subject, as we've discussed, I go read the best books on the subject, whether that's breathing or purpose or mental toughness, or in this context, meditation. Now, we have dozens of books here that you can explore the notes, on which you can explore the notes. We'll start with Eknath Esron. One of my favorite teachers, his book, Conquest of Mind, talks about why it's so important that we conquer our mind. He comes from a Buddhist tradition and Hindu with the Bhagavad Gita and the Dhammapada, two books that he actually translated. He taught the first meditation class at a university in the U.S. at UC Berkeley. Beautiful, beautiful human being. Conquest of Mind. Check out those notes. Why should we meditate? How about Matthew Ricard? He was one of the first guys studied by Richie Davidson, and we need to add his note to this collection because I don't think it's in here yet, on the science of meditation. Great, great stuff. He tells us, well, here's some reasons why you should consider meditating. Herbert Benson is that conservative Harvard scientist I mentioned to you. He doesn't even call it meditation, right? Too conservative for that. We'll call it the relaxation response. Let's elicit this relaxation response, which in a follow-up book, he said, it's a revolution. Like what it does for your genetic expression, for your immune system is truly astonishing. You're going through a surgery, you want to recover. The data he has on this is enough to get you meditating. Jon Kabat-Zinn taught the masterclass on meditation. Beautiful human being. I had the honor and privilege of meeting when back in the day I produced an event for him and a dear friend, Dan Siegel, who's a leading thinker on meditation and mindfulness, etc. We've got notes on his mind site. Thich Nhat Hanh, you can't talk about meditation without going to Thich Nhat Hanh, beautiful human being again. How about sports? How about Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant's mental toughness coach? Mindful athlete, George Mumford. Phil Jackson brought him into the Bulls, and then he brought him into the Lakers. Secret weapon, right? Phil Jackson's the Zen master. Who's his guy? George Mumford, who studied with Jon Kabat-Zinn and brought this wisdom in his own idiosyncratic style to these elite athletes. Really powerful stuff. When you meditate, you can enter that calm within the storm in a big game or other pressure situation. Right? You can step in between the stimulus and your optimal response. You don't crack under pressure. You don't have negative reactions dominating your performance. You're able to slow things down. Meditation will help you do that. George, brilliant book, teaches us how to do it. So if you're not that into meditation, but you're really into sports, you want to know what Kobe Bryant did and what Michael Jordan did, or you got a husband or a partner or a brother or a son or a whatever, dad, who's into sports but not meditation, send him to this book, The Mindful Athlete. Thank you, George. Now, As a Man Thinketh is another great old school book by James Allen. I used this note to unpack my experience at a 10-day Vipassana meditation retreat, because at the time I couldn't find a great book by Goenka, S.N. Goenka, who leads these Vipassana meditations, which is a form of meditation grounded in Buddhism that he teaches in a secular way. 10 days, basically 10 hours a day of meditation. You have no phone, no journal. You can't even write anything down. You can't exercise. You get up super early and you meditate all day. It was the first time I'd really meditated for longer than an hour total. It was amazing. The clarity of my mind after that 10 days was astonishing. And what's interesting is that one of my favorite writers and thinkers is a guy named Yuval Noah Harari. Now, I've read a lot of books at this stage. I've created 600 Philosopher's Notes. I read his first book, Sapiens, right? And it was one of the most coherent, logically well-organized books I had ever read in my life. And again, I can kind of reach through the pages of a book and kind of feel into the consciousness of the writer. I can see just how grounded and stable and coherent their thinking is as expressed by their writing, having done so many reps doing this. And I remember reading his book and saying, this guy, his mind is so pure, it is so clean, I am certain he meditates. Goosebumps as I say that. Then I read Homo Deus, his second book, and I was further confident in that. Then I read this book, and in this book, I'm pretty sure it's in this one, he dedicated the book to his meditation teacher, who I just mentioned, S.N. Goenka. Yuval Noah Harari has meditated as prescribed by S.N. Goenka for an hour in the morning, an hour in the evening, and he's gone for a long, long time. He has gone on month-long meditation retreats on an annual basis for a long time. And guess what? You can tell. You can feel it in his presence, in his writing. So I talk about that in this note. Rick Hanson, another great practical neuroscientist who merges neuroscience and meditation in a beautiful way. Really compelling book. Highly recommended as well. Another great, noble human being. Buddha's Brain. Emily Fletcher takes some TM and some other ideas, mixes it up in her own concoction, has worked with a ton of people. Her book is fantastic. Stress Less, Accomplish More. She's got her own app. Obviously, there's Calm and Headspace and all these other apps that help guide us as well. And then how about Arianna Huffington's Sleep Revolution? Let me go here. I actually drew this up. So I don't think I've drawn up a note yet. So let me go to that and let me do that. I'll go to Ryan Holiday's for the full note. But here's what the page looks like if you check it out. 400 pages distilled into a 6-page philosopher's note. I'll just go ahead and open this one up. Into a 6-page philosopher's note. You can read the note, which I prefer, printing them out, creating a big binder of them, etc., where I pull out the big ideas, those sections you asterisk, underline, etc. I pull them out, I connect them to other ideas, and then I challenge you to go live those ideas. 600 philosopher's notes like that. You can also read the ideas on the web and in our app. Here's the thing I wanted to find here. Arianna Huffington tells us this. In a book about sleep, she tells us a 2009 Stanford study found that a 6-week mindfulness meditation course helped people who have trouble falling asleep twice as quickly in 15 minutes instead of 33 minutes. Now, in the context of sharing that idea, she said, basically, you get an instant ROI. You meditate for 15 minutes this morning, and in addition to all the other benefits I pointed out in the why side of things, you get it repaid immediately because you fall asleep 15 minutes faster. Why is that? Because when you meditate, among other reasons, it's like one of the ways I teach our coaches when I'm talking about this is it's like a pressure cooker. If you've ever cooked with a pressure cooker, you know that you build the pressure, it cooks it, and then you got to release it. You do that little flip of the thing on the top, technical description, and it goes, and all the steam comes out, and you better not be there because it will burn you, move your hand, etc. Well, meditation allows us to do that. It allows us to release all of this steam that builds up in our lives. And you want to do that during your meditation practice, not when you're trying to go to sleep. So if you can discipline yourself, and when you can discipline yourself to meditate for 5, 10, 15 minutes, I do 60 minutes every morning now, and 15 to 60 minutes every evening now, boom, you're going to find that your deep sleep goes up, your REM goes up, you're able to fall asleep faster, get into deep sleep faster, and stay there longer, and then not wake up and need to process all the ideas because you gave yourself time to process them during the day via your meditation practice. How about Ryan Holiday? Stillness is the key, literally, to everything. Look across all cultures. What they all encouraged was find stillness. It's from that point of stillness that genius comes in, that greatness comes in. Whether you're leading a war like Abraham Lincoln, finding time to process these different things by removing himself from the buzz of everyday life. And of course, he was fully immersed, but he took time to check out as well. In a leadership, we talked about lead yourself first. You got to step out and not constantly bombard yourself. You got to find stillness. Meditation, again, is a great way to do it. Eknath Eswaran has another great book. Thich Nhat Hanh has another great book called Silence. This is what Tolle's talking about. He doesn't talk about meditation a whole lot in The Power of Now, but this is one of the ways to bring your presence to now. Ellen Langer wrote a book on mindfulness, similar. Everyday Zen by Joko Beck is great. We've got Brain Power by Kelly Howell, who created something called Brain Sync, and her partner Michael Gelb, leading expert on creativity. Mindfulness is another great book by Mark Williams and Danny Penman. The Undefeated Mind, another great book. Diamond Cutter, Gandhi the Man. Gandhi was the man who meditated a ton. We have a bunch of stuff that you can explore in this context. Yeah, and then we've got the plus ones. Oh, here's a good one. Did you know that the Buddha reached enlightenment? Right? And then you know what he did? He kept on meditating. Why would he do that? Because enlightenment isn't a state you get to and then you just stick at. As Dan Millman says, there are more or less enlightened moments. There's no enlightened beings. There are more or less enlightened moments. And one of the ways to create more of those enlightened moments is to train your mind via meditation, which is why the Buddha meditated after reaching enlightenment. If it's good enough for the Buddha, at that state, it's good enough for me. You're going to lengthen your telomeres by meditating. The science is clear on that. So many different things that we cover here in the Plus Ones. Here's a good one. A lot of people judge themselves when they're meditating. All right, Herbert Benson out of Harvard says, no, don't judge yourself. Approach your meditation practice like you do brushing your teeth. You just do it. You just show up and you brush your teeth. You're not judging your toothbrushing. Did I get that tooth just right? How about that one? That'd be absurd, right? Same thing with your meditation. Show up, do it again and again and again. It doesn't matter what you do. It matters that you do it consistently. Check out the habits category to figure out how to install your meditation habit. Don't go for 15 or 30 or 60 minutes if you've never meditated before. 1 minute, or even better, one breath. Install the habit, then optimize it and grow it. But just brush your brain. Of course your mind's going to wander. It always will. That's the point. Bring it back to your anchor that we talk about in the class again and again and again. By the way, I talk about it in the class and it's somewhere here. You want to know how to sit in your meditation? John Kabat-Zinn answers the question. He says, sit with dignity. Sit with dignity. And he says that when I do that, immediately people sit up with a little bit more poise. They, as we said in our breathing conversation, pull a thread through their head unconsciously. They're regal, yet at the same time, they're calm. It's a beautiful balance of being alert, spine is straight, you're composed and you're present and you're poised, but you're not ramrod, whatever. You got a calm confidence to you. You have dignity. That's how we want to sit. Again, so many other ideas that we can explore in this. I will leave it at that for now before this becomes any longer than it already is. Optimize your meditation with more wisdom and less time. And when you're done with that, why don't you get on and optimize your purpose, your focus, your goal setting, your peak performance, etc. Dozens of categories. I'm all in. Committed to helping you be the best version of yourself so we can go out and change the world together. Let's go. Day 1. Make today a great day. And if you're feeling it, meditate for a minute or 15 minutes. If you're really feeling it, see if you can build a habit for whatever time is best for you. Let's go. Have a great day. See you.